Hi, this is Willie Crawford, and this is method number two of our series on 101 ways to make $1,000 per day online. And as the image here shows, it says tune into the free series at youtube.com/. The Modern Midas. The Modern Midas is, of course, my YouTube channel. And method two that we're going to cover today is buying old YouTube channels and turning them into daily cash machines. That is, you're going to take over an existing channel, buying it, and you're going to just step in front of the money the channel's already making some changes to improve upon it, of course, but you're going to buy an existing business. So what's the big idea? Think of a YouTube channel like a used video game account, where um, you're already there are already scores being made, and that is because the channel already has subscribers, it's already getting views, and it's monetized. And so all you're doing is stepping in front of it and leveling it up. Uh, you buy the channel, you improve it, and you keep playing, earning faster and faster, more and more. You sort of stack the earnings up. And you take over an existing business where you see something wrong with it, you improve upon it, and you run from there. So why do people sell their YouTube channels in the first place? One is the creator can get bored. You know, they start out all excited about a topic and just the idea of running a YouTube channel, and some reason they get bored or they switch hobbies. Maybe they're into gaming and they decide, it's time for me to grow up and go off to college or something like that. Or they need quick cash for a new project. That happens quite a bit. It's people um, find themselves back to the corner, don't have enough money to do what they want to do. And they say, well, let me sell this asset I'm not using, which is often their YouTube channel. So you get the channel with fans, but the channel has no captain at the wheel. And so you step in, take over, and steer it. And when you take over the channel, you're buying assets. And here's what you're buying and why it matters. First of all, you're getting subscribers. It takes a while to monetize a channel. And as that last bullet says, to get a YouTube channel monetized, you need at least 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 hours of watch time accumulated. And you need that's the requirement for regular videos. For the shorts, you need like 10,000 hours. No, yes, 10,000 hours of watch time. So it's an incredible requirement there. And when you take over a channel, hopefully you take over a channel that's already got the requisite number of subscribers. So it's already monetized, already has a requisite number of watch hours accumulated. And so, and it has enough videos that are already making a few dollars, hopefully, of AdSense revenue or something. And I should clarify right here that there's two types of AdSense accounts. One is the one that a lot of you are probably familiar with. There's a separate AdSense account that's just for YouTube. It's called AdSense for YouTube. And when you take over a channel or when you take over an additional channel, you click on the button that says go to my channel when you log in YouTube, and you have a dashboard there. And the dashboard tells you a lot of things about the health of the channel. It tells you what you need to do to step up to the next level. It tells you whether you violated any of YouTube's policies. It tells you if you're in danger of being shut down or demonetized. And so all that's inside what I'd call a dashboard. And if you're not familiar with it, you should be soon. You can actually just go to YouTube and or Google YouTube and look up the requirements and how YouTube operates as far as its monetization program, and it'll explain all that for you. I won't go too much into that in this, because we're just looking at taking over an existing YouTube channel. We're looking at taking over an asset and monetizing it. Let's talk about the niche match role. The niche is the topic that the channel is all about. And what's important there is it's an ongoing channel, which means that the subscribers you already have love that topic. And so you aren't looking at changing the topic because the subscribers already like it. And it's beginner friendly because you're not guessing even at what content to make or what keywords to target. All you're doing is looking for ways to improve the channel. And so you continue with what the previous owners did. You copy it, you look for ways to improve it. And the way you look for ways to improve it is you can just type on you can go to YouTube and using the search bar, type in um, how to increase number of subscribers, how to monetize YouTube channel, how to whatever. And there are hundreds of experts, genuine experts, and there are thousands of pretend experts who will tell you how to improve your channel. And a lot of them are guessing at what the YouTube algorithm is looking for. Actually, the best person to tune into is the owner of YouTube, and they have put out videos recently that tell what they're looking for is monetize a channel, and the algorithm is now uh, looking at things like uh, when they suggest a channel to a user of YouTube, that they are suggesting channels that are similar to channels they've already watched. It knows the behavior of the YouTube watchers or viewers. And so that's the first thing it suggests. So you can have a channel with a very low number of views, but if you properly optimize it for the keywords, you tell these YouTube algorithm what the channel's all about. YouTube suggests it to viewers, and if enough viewers watch that video, and then continue to watch it long enough, that tells YouTube that people like your channel and that particular video, and especially. And if people click through to the video because they're, I don't know, grabbed by the thumbnail or something, and then they click away inside of like 30 seconds, that tells YouTube people aren't pleased with that video because the bounce rate is so high. And so YouTube will stop suggesting that video to your viewers or to new viewers. So where do you find aged YouTube channels? We pointed out that there's a lot of people with these channels that they're not really well, interested in keeping for the various reasons we've already mentioned. So where do you find these people who want to sell these channels? Well, there's some private Facebook groups, and so you can um, just use the Facebook search bar and type in terms like uh, sell YouTube channel, sell age channel, or creator swap servers, things like that. That's a chord actually. There's marketplaces too. PlayerUp.com is one. I'm having trouble reading my screen. It's listed on the screen there. I can't read it because of problems with the computer. Um, but you can also go to YouTube channels that have less than 10,000 subscribers, and you can look for the about email of the channel owner and then reach out to that channel owner. You can reach out to them directly via the YouTube interface and ask them if they're interested in selling their channel. And again, you're looking for channels that are usually less than 10,000 subscribers. Once somebody gets above 10,000 subscribers, they aren't usually that often interested in selling their channel. You can also just ask in a social media post, on Facebook, just post on your wall. Anybody here have a YouTube channel that they're interested in selling, and or on Twitter or wherever, and you'll be surprised that people, some of your followers may have YouTube channels that they lost interest in for whatever reason, and they want to sell it, and they had never thought of selling it. They just ignored it. It reached a certain point and it lost its fascination to them, and they're no longer interested in being a YouTuber. So they'll happily get rid of that channel just to make a few bucks. So just ask. That's very powerful. And here's a price check cheat sheet. It tells you what the um, typical channel goes for based on the number of subscribers. And you can see that um, when you get up to the bigger channels, you may be looking at paying between four and $10,000 for them, and the price rises as the channel earns a steady AdSense revenue. So the channel has to become monetized, uh, has to get enough views and enough watch hours and enough subscribers to become qualified for AdSense, and then you have to apply for the AdSense for YouTube program. And so once the channel is already earning that AdSense revenue, uh, the owner is probably going to ask a slightly higher price for the channel because they're already getting money coming in every month. Uh, Safety first. I come from a military background where my life depended often on other people, and I had to trust those people, uh, and I did with my life. But online, there are scammers and people that will rip you off, and so you need to use a site like escrow.com to make sure nobody gets ripped up. What escrow.com or other sites do is they uh, take possession of the asset and they collect the money from the buyer, and then they transfer the asset to the buyer and transfer the money to the seller. So they're a middle person that collects it and makes sure thing goes as smoothly as they could. I mean, I've sold things like domain names for you know five, $10,000 just based on trust. Where I just said to somebody, "Okay, I'll sell you this for $5,000," and they just said, "What's your bank account number? What's your PayPal account number?" And they sent me the money. But that is not a good business practice. So I don't suggest you do that. You also want proof that the site is earning money. So you want the current owner to log into their back office and to their analytics data, wherever they keep that data, and take screenshots to prove their revenue for the past 90 days or so. You may even want them to give you uh, the login to their analytics so that you can see it because screenshots can be faked. That's almost anything can be faked these days, but you want proof beyond you want to see proof of a steady stream of revenue so you know what you're buying. And then as soon as you purchase the site, I mean, the minute you purchase the site, you want to change all your recovery emails so that they can't recover control of the site and take it away from you. And you want to change the two-factor authentication tokens, which is, um, to log into certain online assets, you use two-factor authentication where maybe um, a message is sent to your phone with the code, or it's sent to your email, or you have to use some other method of verifying that you are the owner of the asset. That's called two-factor authentication, and that's highly recommended for all your online assets, whether it's your email or your social media account or your bank account or certainly your bank account and your domain name accounts, all those things you should be using two-factor authentication to keep you from stealing your property. So that's very important. And then here's a checklist of what you should do within your first week of taking over that channel that you purchased. First of all, you want to audit all existing videos. You're inside your control panel of your account that will tell you whether you have strikes against you for copyright violations. It will uh, tell you a lot of things about the um, quality of your site and whether or not you're on the verge, whether or not that site's on the verge of being um, banned or demonetized. And so, what you want to do is, if any video on that site has a strike against it for copyright violations, you want to uh, delete that video from the channel. I would anyway. Then you want to maybe refresh your thumbnails. Use brighter colors or bolder text. Uh, there's a lot of advice on how to create a winning thumbnail. YouTube actually lets you test up to like 3 thumbnails at a time, so you can upload 3 different thumbnails. Tell the software to alternate the thumbnails as it sifts through different viewers, and then to select the winner, and it will then make that the default thumbnail. So that's very powerful. But you want to test different things. You want to notice first of all what type of thumbnail grabs your attention, but you also want to look at your competitors, people in your niche, and see which ones are getting a lot of views on videos, and look at their thumbnails and model their thumbnails. You also want to look at keywords, descriptions, titles, and if those aren't working, you want to perhaps change them. Some things you can change, other things you can't, and certain things you can only change if you're logged in via well, that's on different channels. On certain channels, you have to be logged into an app on your phone or whatever. You can't change it on the YouTube control panel using a PC or even an iPad, I think. So you have to look at that. Uh, so consider changing the titles of videos that aren't getting enough views, changing the description, and you definitely want to change the affiliate links that are should be included in the description of every video. I mean, one of the ways you're monetizing your videos is by selling affiliate products and or your own products. And so you have, I think it's 5,000 characters you have in uh, room for in the description. You should use most of those 5,000 characters because the YouTube algorithm reads every word of that description, and that's how it figures out, partly how it figures out what that video is about. It also notices whether or not people who visit the video actually watch it, and so it's looking at bounce rate and a lot of other things to tell it what the video is really about. But you can give YouTube a clue, and then you want to post a channel reboot trailer. That's you telling your existing subscribers, your loyal subscribers to that channel, uh, what's coming. You're telling them that you have more videos planned. You want to tell them that you're the new owner of the channel, so that they aren't surprised when they see changes, on the channel. They are loyal because they like the channel, perhaps the way it is. So if you think you can improve it, let them know that. If you can want to give them more content that they're going to like, let them know that. So post a reboot trailer on the channel. Now, let's look at three ways to monetize a channel. Uh, the first one I mentioned is AdSense for YouTube. YouTube charges a subscriber, an advertiser, a certain rate, and I'll actually show how they calculate that rate, but it just doing it myself gave me a headache, so you may want to skip that part. But YouTube splits the revenue that the advertiser pays 55 to 45. They keep 45% and give you 55%. So uh, it's recommended as a new owner of the site that you shoot for from $50 to $200 a day in AdSense revenue. And then affiliates, um, you earn a percentage sales made for affiliate products that you recommend on your channel. So I don't aim there for about 500 bucks a day. You can do sponsored shout outs, or brands can pay you for plugs on your videos, and you can make 300 to 600 bucks a day there. Just shooting for that as a beginning amount. When you add all those together, we're looking to average $1,000 per day, an average of $1,000 per day, and you want to sort of scale up from that. But that's our target. So some terminology. CPM stands for cost per meal. I think that's French, but it's explained here. You can read it. I won't read it to you. But the advertisers bid, and the ones that bid the highest amount, YouTube chose their ads first, and they build them. And when they build them, this shows the formula. But YouTube again gives the channel owner 55% of the revenue, and they keep 45% of the revenue. And so there's a math formula there that shows you how it all works out. You can pause the video if you want, but I won't read it to you. The CPM, which is the cost per meal, it isn't a fixed amount. It swings based on the niche, location, uh, time of the year, the season, all those things. And the country that the viewer is from, for example, and the country the advertiser is from. So all those things are factored in, and um, you need to think about those things as you decide what niche you want to be in, first of all, and because certain niches pay a lot better than other niches, and then the time of the year and what's going on around the world, and I don't know, politics and religion and everything else, artificial intelligence, all those things. You need to consider all those factors when you try to choose the niche that you want to target and the location that you want to target. And YouTube also has another measurement called RPM, and it really is the factor that's most important when you're trying to figure out why YouTube is paying you a certain amount. I don't know why I even threw these three slides in there because it probably could confuses you more than anything else. But I wanted you to be able to read the definition, so that's part of why I threw it in there. Let's look at an example though of $1,000 per day panel. And you can read the example there. But what you're looking at though is what you need in total based on what you're doing. If you're an affiliate marketer, 200 affiliate clicks on something that pays $2, earning per click would be $400. And then if you um, were getting money from the AdSense revenue, you would want shoot for roughly $600 in CPM, $600 in revenue from a $15 CPM niche. And so, and then you can actually go out and seek direct sponsorship, and that would mean you didn't need quite as much commission from AdSense revenue or um, from your own products and from affiliate products. And what will happen though is as your channel grows, you'll actually have advertisers reaching out to you, people in your space or people in certain niches will notice your channel is getting a lot of views, and they'll reach out to you and ask you if you're interested in sponsorship. And they'll make an offer, but also they want to see what you are willing to do. And a lot of people underestimate the value of exposure on their channel. I know channel owners who charge, well, they even charge their interviewees when they do interviews anywhere from 25,000 to 100 grand per episode just to be on the episode. But uh, you can earn a lot of money from sponsorship in the right spaces. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to a PDF I did that shows the 100 most profitable niches uh, to target as far as lead generation is concerned. That is, what niches pay the most for clicks. Uh, and well, I think the highest one is like private jet rental, and and then there's the financial markets, and it goes down from there. But I'll put a link to that in the description below this video, just because it's a good asset to have to help you decide what niche you really want to target. This is looking at a beginner-friendly schedule. What should you plan on doing um, to your channel? You should work out a calendar basically of what you're going to do, because there's work involved in putting out videos on a regular schedule. Um, so it's sort of recommended that a newbie shoot for uh, 2 long videos per week, and each of the long videos should have, I'm sorry, 2 long videos and then, I don't know, 3, 4 shorts a week. And the shorts should have links pointing to the longer video. So if they, in fact, you can take program like well, CapCut or any of them, and take a long video and chop it into, I don't know, 10 or 15 short videos. And then in the description to the shorts, you can point to the longer video. That works very well, actually. Uh, and so you want so many long, so many shorts per week. Again, these shorts pushing to the long videos. And you want to use free tools. Well, you want to use tools, but here's some free ones that you can use for producing your videos. You know, you can record it on, I do a lot of recording on Zoom, but you can record on Zoom, Camtasia, whatever your preferred video recording software is. And then after you get that MP4, and some will give you a M4A or whatever, you download those and then you need to edit it. Hopefully not too much editing, but you can edit the video in CapCut, which is free. Uh, you want your thumbnail. You want a thumbnail that grabs attention. That's the first thing people are going to notice. And so you can do that using Canva, or I like Chat GPT. You just describe what you're looking for, and Chat GPT can produce a fairly nice looking thumbnail. I use 4.5 right now, but that's what I use. And then uh, some platforms will give you a recording in MP3. Others will give you some other funky um, format. And so if you need to edit your audio only, then you can pop it into Audacity, which is free, and edit it as you need to, just cutting out segments, ums and ahs and all that stuff if you want to. And then you export it as an MP3. And then that MP3 you can then play with in other tools like CapCut even. You can take CapCut, pull in a graphic, pull in an MP3, combine them on a timeline, and then output an MP4. That's one way that I do certain videos. Um, so there's a lot of tools you can use. There's a lot of AI tools you can use too. I didn't get into any of those in this video because the AI tools, there's a new one out every day and they're constantly changing. And what is your it I recommend just sticking with whatever your favorite AI tool is if you're going to use AI for doing your editing. And a lot of the programs I've mentioned, like Canva, now has AI modes, you know, so they get the older tools are getting smarter. You can tell I'm tired, I'm rambling. Um, as your channel grows and you get making more and more money, you may want to get lazy like some of us do and outsource a lot of things. Or you can use an AI tool to do the same thing. For example, you should be working from a script when you uh, do a video. And so you can hire a professional script writer, or you can use a piece of software to do it. For certain uh, videos, you may want to do a voiceover. 11 Labs is an excellent program for doing video voiceovers, and it's only $5 a month. The script writer I recommend is $15 a month. For video editing, you can use Upwork, where it's typical to pay an editor, I don't know, $30 per video. You can be cheap and go to Fiverr, Fiverr.com, and look for a video editor there. And you'll find some that are very inexpensive. You want to look at their ratings. You want to hire someone that's good at what they do and not just the cheapest one. Because when you buy something cheap, you usually get what you pay for. With all this, the reason I suggest outsourcing is um, you sort of want to become the coach and not the quarterback. You don't want to do the work. You want to have the software or someone else do the work, and you just collect the revenue from your channel. Um, Unless you just really enjoy making videos. Some people do enjoy making videos and doing all the work. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know, if you're making $1,000 a day, from your video channels. And you should plan on several channels. It's unusual to just start off with one and have $1,000 a day coming in. So you have to gradually build up to it sometimes, but it's a matter of stacking revenue streams on top of each other. And at some point, you may be making not just $1,000 a day, but $10,000 a day. That's possible. Not easy, but possible. And at that point, you definitely want to be the quarterback, and you want to be sitting on a beach somewhere or on the deck of a cruise ship, running the show. So there are risks um, involved in taking over an ongoing YouTube channel. One of those is you could have a sudden drop in views, uh, and the way you guard against that is you want to look at your channel health when you first take it over. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to delete those videos that can get you demonetized. You want to consider refreshing topics. Uh, you could have a sudden drop in subscribers, that would be because you offended them somehow. So uh, before you make any big changes to the channel, you have to consider the fact that the only reason that channel is successful is because of a steady stream of viewers, and so you don't really want to cork them off. You want to let them know beforehand that you're going to make changes, or even ask their opinions, poll them, and say, what do you think about this idea, or ask them, how can I improve my channel? Maybe put a video on the channel somewhere, or somewhere in the introduction to the channel, ask for feedback. There's nothing wrong with constantly asking for feedback, even when you just post a video. Uh, on your channel, you can ask people to comment uh, about the video, things they like, things they didn't like, things you maybe left out of the video, and that does a number of things, including shows YouTube that you're getting interaction on your channel, engagement, and that's important, an important metric that YouTube likes. Um, you could also violate some policy on YouTube that you aren't even aware of. And so you want to make sure that you don't do that. For example, I mentioned using royalty-free assets. When you upload a video to YouTube, as a part of the process, YouTube listens to the audio, and if there's like music that's copyrighted or not royalty-free, YouTube will, ding you for that, and they'll warn you too. But you don't want to violate anyone's copyright. So, or you want to make sure things are royalty free and you have permission to use them. Be careful there, because that you could have a channel that you bought that's making a lot of money, um, but the owner maybe violated some policies and even received warnings. Maybe that may be one reason that they're selling that channel is they've been warned they're about to be demonetized. So, you have to check those things out. Be careful. So recap, what should you be doing next? Find an uh, affordable for sale YouTube channel that's a match, matches a niche that you enjoy. You don't pick something you don't enjoy. Verify the revenue using snapshots, and then use an escrow account to protect yourself and your buyer. Uh, Review your thumbnails, titles, and uh, have an upload schedule. If you don't update your channel regularly, your subscribers sort of don't know what to expect. But YouTube also notices whether or not you're regularly refreshing the channel. So look at that. And then you want to layer monetization. So you want to run ads, whether these are ads for your own products, or sponsor ads, or affiliate ads, or monetized the YouTube AdSense program. All these things you want to use to stack the money. And when you first take over a channel, or it's a small channel, I found that my largest revenue is from promoting affiliate products or my own products. And then you'll get offers from sponsors, but a lot of those sponsors, you want to ask yourself, do they really, um, are they cohesive with your objectives for your channel and even your values. If you are object to certain things, then you should not be promoting those products. People do notice things like that. And then you scale by outsourcing and you repeat the model. Go out, buy another channel or two, and rehab them, improve them, and the money will keep stacking up. So that's a quick pep talk from Coach Willie. You're buying a diamond in the rough, so you need to keep polishing it. And you don't need to overanalyze things. You don't need to get bogged down by paralysis, paralysis by analysis. You need to just do it, but using common sense and again, studying the advice of people who have some very successful YouTube channels as far as ways to improve your channel. But be warned again that a lot of these people are expressing opinions rather than um, verifiable uh, facts. A lot of people will see something and, it's like seeing a fire truck parked out in front of a house that has a fire. You could assume a causative effect. You could say wherever there's a fire truck, it causes fires, or you can make that some silly assumption like that. So look for evidence that what you're assuming or what they're assuming is right. And there's a lot of people out there teaching shortcuts that will get your channel demonetized. So be careful. And with that, I'm going to close by asking you before you leave to leave a comment on this video. Things I could have covered, things that you like, things that you didn't like. Just talk to me. I read all your comments. YouTube notifies the channel owner um, in the dashboard whenever someone leaves a comment on their video. It also notifies uh, the regular YouTube user whenever someone responds to a comment you leave on their video. All that's in the YouTube back end. Some people don't notice it, but it's there. So leave a comment, please. And if you found this helpful, um, then give it a like. If you found it helpful and think it'll help other people who are looking for ways to make $1,000 per day on the internet, share it with them. And if you feel so inclined, subscribe to my channel. What subscribing does is uh, the biggest thing it does is makes me more attractive to potential sponsors. They look for channels with hundreds, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of um, subscribers, and they will offer more revenue. So you'll be contributing to my retirement account, and I would truly appreciate it. And in any event, be on the lookout for my next video sharing another method of making an average of at least $1,000 per day on the internet, which is not too shabby. That's a third of $1 million a year. And if you can't survive off that, then you're probably spending a lot of money on things you don't need. This is Willie. Thank you very much for your attention.